fuck you, Nick, for stealing all my material. Hi everyone.
Hello.
So, being bald it's actually, how do I say this? It's actually really shit. I wasn't always bald, I didn't just come out like this, I didn't come out looking like a young Diesel, no. I first realised I was losing my hair when I put a photo of myself on Instagram. I was really proud of myself, thought I was really handsome, put that photo up. And one of my good friends commented underneath the photo, hair today, gone. Hair today, gone. You would have thought 4 words would give me a complex about my hair. Thank you very much, Chris. But listen, I know you're all laughing at my baldness, but don't feel sorry for me. I'm like this man right here. I'm a sexy bald man. I'll be doing so sorry. I've got a full beard. I've got a nice shaped head. I'm not one of these unfortunate bastards, you have like lumps and bumps. I look like a fucking elephant man. I had bee stings all over my head. That's not me. It's a nice round head. In fact, I kind of won the genetic lottery in my family because my brother's got one of these really angular things that kind of comes from the bottom goes right down. And if you've got dandruff, it looks like a downhill ski slope. Like doing a ski season on his forehead. But no, I'm a sexy bald man, right? We all know it. I'm a sexy bald man. You're not supposed to laugh at sexy bit. Usually I get wolf whistles, but that's just Nikki. No, I'm a sexy bald man, and I know, I'm just convincing myself now. I know you're all does the coat match the carpets? Or in my instance, does the skylight match the tiles? The answer to that question is, well, it's a resounding no, unfortunately. It's a real fucking mess down there. A real jungle. Sometimes I have to bring a machete to the urinal just to fucking cut through the hedgerows. In fact, just before this gig, I went down to take a piss, and I thought they were filming a new BBC documentary. It was just David just going, and the young man finally presents his penis. In fact, as Nick rightly said, I'm recently married, and actually since I got married, now don't applaud, she's a complete bitch. Since I got married, I just lost my way down there a little bit. In fact, the only 2 things that happened to me since I got married is my pubes have gotten longer. Tucking in my socks now. But I've also just gotten fatter. I put on 8 kilos in 6 months. That's no fucking joke, guys. In fact, a little word to the wise: if your pubes get longer and you get fatter, it doesn't really give you too many tears in your penis to bother. And just I'm being trusting with you guys. This doesn't mean the word, but before we got married, I wasn't the sort of guy who would do these in any favours. But listen, I'm very immature. I mean, I know what you're thinking, right? 10-week comedy course, and all you've got is fucking dick and Georgios. Where's the money? Actually, he bought me the course. So. But no. The comedy course. You've heard of this today. It's absolutely fantastic. I really recommend it. And for all of you fucking naysayers, don't laugh at that bit. For all of you naysayers and doubters out there, I don't actually just have a small dick involved. I also like to make fun of Mexican people. Now, before you get on your phone and try to cancel me out there, just realise that I'm a Mexican man. I know the accent's a dead giveaway. No, I'm half Mexican, half Northern Irish. My father is from Mexico, Viva la Raza, and my mother is from Northern Ireland, up there. But so I like to make fun of Mexican people, and the funniest thing about Mexican people, well, it just so happens to be that they have small dicks involved. But sorry, I didn't resist myself. The funniest thing, you, madam, what do you think the funniest thing about Mexican people is? Come on, just shout anything out.
Too much.
Bring you too much, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a racist in the audience. He literally just said that I could make fun of Mexican people because I was Mexican, and she just comes straight out of it. In fact, Cotsy just told me before I got on stage she's German as well, so... no, I really hope that you're sick. You got a bit of Latin in you. If you don't, we can maybe arrange something later on. No, sorry, that's a free joke. I'm sorry, especially my wife in this car. Not very smart. No, the funniest thing about Mexican people is obviously that they're short. Everybody knows that, right? Mexican men are very short, right? Yes, yay. Do you know the average height of a Mexican man is 5'6.5"? Right, Nikki, fit right in. I, as a towering 5'9" man, the first time ever in my life I get to say with all sincerity that I'm 2.5 inches bigger than average. She didn't laugh. No, but whenever I go to Mexico, I like to call myself El Titanic because I'm from Northern Ireland and I'm a big ass. And I'm well famous for going down.
Everyone's been really looking forward to performing in front of their friends and family. Sadly, my parents aren't with us. Well, they're not dead, sorry. They just couldn't be asked to come. To be fair to my dad, he did ring me up last night to wish me luck. He said, Ben, no one laughs, there's no shame in it. And he kept using that phrase. There's no shame in it. Ben, no one laughs, there's no shame in it. You step up over the wire, there's no shame in it. You forget everything, there's no shame in it. There's no shame in it. It's the stupidest, least comforting phrase anyone says. The only reason anyone says there's no shame in it is if the thing you're talking about, the thing that might happen or was going to happen, has some sort of shame or embarrassment. You don't say about normal things, do you? Sitting down, no shame in it. Wearing a shirt, no shame in it. Drinking a glass of water, no, there's no shame in it. It's just one of those stupid British phrases that doesn't really mean anything. Usually we say them before the start of a sentence. So I have a friend who, at the start of anything he says, he'll say, not being funny. Not being funny. Not being funny, I fancy a bag of crisps. Excuse me while I contain my laughter. Another one is, I'll be honest with you. Have we really reached a stage in society where we have to clarify the person we're talking to that we're telling them the truth? I went to the GP the other day, I injured myself playing football. He said, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Hunt, you've dislocated your shoulder. If he just said, Mr. Hunt, you've dislocated your shoulder, I'm not going to walk out of the GP surgery lying bastard, it's fine. I guess what my dad was trying to do was trying to calm my nerves, which is fair enough. This is nerve-wracking. Public speaking is nerve-wracking for a lot of people. I remember our first 2-minute set we had to do, that way back in January, I was really nervous. In fact, I don't think I've been that nervous since I was 12 years old when I googled hardcore porn on the ground. Being worried, I spelled it wrong. I ended up having a really intense online chess match. It wasn't my apparent dyslexia that was the biggest obstacle. Let's call it wanky in the early noughties. The biggest problem was the quality of the internet was so bad back then. And my family still had dial-up for far, far, far longer and was socially acceptable. Does anyone remember dial-up?
Yeah.
So you had to plug in and then it would ring, the computer would ring the internet. And then have a weird whirring noise, and 15 minutes later you'd have to log in and you'd be in. But that wasn't even the worst bit. The worst bit was you couldn't use the landline phone and the internet at the same time, right? So you'd have to go online, you have to, oh mum, are you expecting a call from Susan? Can I go on the internet? Is it fine? Yeah, good. Dad, can you use the phone to work? I'm going to go on the internet, that's fine. That's good. Every single time. Right? Which meant for me, as a teenager, when I'm being shaped and moulded as a man, exploring my sexuality, I had to ask my parents for permission every time I wanted to reject it. Try explaining the concept of dial-up to anyone, say under the age of 25. Right? Wouldn't be able to. First thing to say, what the fuck's a landline? I just feel like younger people these days that are growing up now, they're just living in a completely different world from what I did when I was young. I actually went on a few dates with a girl who was born after the millennium. Before anyone starts doing maths, it was perfectly legal. Didn't work out anyway. We just had very different views on life. She was always on social media, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff that I can't really get my head around. Can't really get my head around that. We just had very different principles. Weirdest thing of all, she didn't even understand why I had to ring my mum and ask for permission every time we had sex. Now it's great that I have got friends here. I've got friends here. I can see every single one of them going, Ben had sex. That's not right. That's right. That's fair enough. I've never been that successful with women. I had actually written pause for audience shock. And I can actually pinpoint the moment in my life when I knew that I would never be able to flirt with a woman, or just, in general, just speak confidently to them. Thank you, Nick. I was 18 years old, in my first year at Cotsy University. And there was a girl I really liked in my halls. She was in the block next door to me. Yeah. And I'd never spoken to her. But if there is one thing I can use social media for, it's finding out every single little thing about someone. So I knew her name was Faye. She's brunette, studying maths, grew up in Buckingham, 3 brothers, lost her 2 front teeth. The normal things. But at around Christmas time, in my first year, Faye and her housemates decided to have a flat party for everyone in the halls. And obviously I convinced all my friends that we had to go. So about an hour into this party, I'm sat on some beanbag chairs that are in the corner of their kitchen, and I was having a few drinks with my mates, and you see Faye walking up to us. That's it. And in my head, she's only coming over to speak to me, right? And I'm already picturing telling our grandkids this is how we met. 18 years old, Christmas flat party extra, classic story. Alas, she addressed the whole group and said, guys, have any of you seen my jumper? I think I left it over here. And after a bit of searching, turns out it was underneath my friend Matt. And as Matt goes to pass it to her, I panic. I haven't said anything. I haven't been the witty, funny, charismatic Ben I imagine I would be in that scenario. So I've got to go for it, right? Well, my brain has already decided what I'm going to say, and there's no time to review all that. Matt farted on it! I ever said to her. It was all fine though. Luckily I was sat next to my really good friend Steve, who has always been a very supportive mate. So after they obviously run away, and we'd sat there for what felt like an hour just trying to comprehend what I just said to this girl that I liked. He taps me on the shoulder and says, "Not being funny, mate, there's no shame in it."
I was preparing for this evening. I thought, what do I know more about than anybody else in this room? What do I know? I'm going to hazard a guess, guys. But it's the dating app. I'm a connoisseur, I am. There'll be some of you in the room, you'll be past it. You'll be past the dating app phase in your life. And I salute you, I do. There'll be some of you that have never even been in it. Mum and Dad here, Jim and B, shout out Jim and B. 46 years married, they're looking at each other, they're thinking, dating apps, that's not relatable content. But there'll also be some of you tonight that are very much in it still, very much in it, and I'm here to say, guys, I'm with you. I'm with you, actually. I'm a sucker for love, I am, I always have been, always will be. People seen the Tinder Swindler, you know? Yeah. People watch the Tinder Swindler, okay? They say they're stupid. How did they ever end up in hundreds of thousands of pounds of debt for a guy that they fell in love with on Tinder? You say it and I go, and in my head I'm thinking, that could be fucking me. I am. But look, in the decade I've used the I've used the app, and that is as depressing to say as it is. In the decade of using the app, I like to think I've learned a lesson or two. And by lesson or two, I just mean one. I've learned one lesson, and that lesson is delete the fucking app. That is it. But I thought, whilst I'm here, I'll give you a little whistle-stop tour of some of the apps, okay? Get you better acquainted. Get you as acquainted as I am with the apps, alright? Yeah. So we kick off with Tinder, number one. Tinder. Tinder was the OG, the original gangster of the dating app. So Tinder, back in the day, very different place to what Tinder is now, okay? Tinder now, I already mentioned Tinder Swindler, right? But let me give you a little, a recent experience I had on Tinder, okay? So I matched with a guy, lovely. I matched with a guy, and his dating profile pictures. They're all from this one event, right? Just one. Just one event, no other life events, just one. All professional photos as well, right? And so the alarm bell should have been ringing. And I may add as well, the event I'm talking about was a Tough Mudder event, like. Anyway, so sucker for love. We'll start talking. So we're talking. Now this guy, he takes a particularly keen interest in my workouts, my gym workouts, right? But not in the traditional sense of, like, what weights you lifting or what whatever. This guy took a keen interest in how much I sweat. So yeah, so we were texting. How you doing? You're from Australia. What have you been up to? And I get to her, how much did you sweat? Like, I don't know if any of you have ever tried to explain to someone how much you sweat. No, right. So maybe the alarm bell should have been a little bit louder at this point, right? But I did my due diligence, as anyone should do when on the app. I searched the internet for it, right? So I searched the Google, I searched the socials. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere. This bird is telling me to do So I mean, that's strike 3, right? You've got the dodgy profile to kick off, you've got the weird sweat fetish, and then it literally doesn't exist on the internet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you, he was a catfish. Thank you. He was a catfish. And I say that with, you may have heard it, I say it with a level of pride, because it turns out being catfished in your 30s, kind of flattering. You're a little bit like, oh, you picked me. You picked me to trick and deceive and pretend that you're somebody else. Like, clearly you're a terrible human, but I'm kind of flattered. Thank you. So I mean, that's Tinder. That'd be another place of Tinder, right? Tinder is a bit of a beast of a place. It's full of catfish, it's full of Tinder swindlers. And another thing Tinder's really full of is the unsolicited dick pic. Yeah. Full of them. Yeah, like you go in it, it's just there, it's just there. You don't want to know that. Which leads me on to the next step, which is Bumble. Okay, so Bumble was the big fuck you to Tinder, right? Came along and said, no more. We're going to put the control back in the hands of the ladies. Yeah. We are no longer going to get dick pics when we don't want them. We're going to become the gatekeepers of the dick pics. Right? So you end up sitting there lying down on Sunday, hungover, and yes, you may enter. Yes, come on in. There's a short one in the back. You come on in. I mean, it's girl power vibes, right? But look, the reality is when we want the dick pics, we never want the dick pics. You know what, right? So that's Bumble. And then what happened? Happened. The lesser known of the dating apps came about circa 2015. Now the premise of Happen was simple, right? It basically tracked where you'd been, it showed you who you'd been around, and then asked you if you want to go on dates with them. Okay? So you'd be going on your morning commute, get into work, and go, here's all the people you crossed paths with. Would you like to go on a date with them? Well, yes, okay, I'll go on a date with them. Yes, great. And then you get home from work in the evening, like, here's all the people you crossed paths with. Would you like to go on a date with them? I'll go on a date with them. Quite literally encouraging you to shit where you eat. But look, there's a bigger thing with Happen. You may already be thinking it. You're thinking, hold on a second, Nikki. You're telling me that there was an app that existed in 2015 that not only tracked, but traced who you've been around. And then notified you. Sounds familiar. Almost. I thought, it's almost as if the government didn't need to piss away millions of pounds on an app that didn't end up working, am I right? So I mean, what can we take away? What can we take away from this ramble, right? I think there's 3 things. You can cheer them as a fail. Number 1, fuck the catfish. Number 2, fuck the dating apps. And number 3, fuck this Tory government.
Why did you move to London? And if you don't know this, Manchester is one of the rainiest cities in Europe. So I came down here to London for the good weather. The sunshine, the dryness, and like it's nice and toasty, you've got all the pollution, and you've got all the heat in. I mean, it's slowly killing us all, and it's killing our children. It's killing our children's children, but at least it's nice and dry. So I am unfortunately moving away from London and moving back to Manchester.
Or yay.
It's not because I can't live here, or it's not because I got bored of the city. I'm just really sick and tired of scaring people. So I'll give you an example. Get on the tube. You're right.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Or I'm really like bored of like confusing and being looked at with like such disdain when I walk into a shop. Just like this. Hiya pal, you alright? I'll just have this pal. Got some cash for you. I'll see you later, pal. You have a great night tonight. So one of the things I'm going to really miss about London is my really posh gym. It's got a swimming pool. I love it. And I go for a swim, and I'm a chill swimmer. Just have a nice breaststroke. Knowing there's a fellow breaststroker. He's going up and down. He gets out. I'm like, oh, short, not so short swim. Back. Going up and down again. Gets up. Goes down. Comes back. Alright. Getting faster. He's definitely doing lines in the changing room. I'll have my swim. Gets up, gets out. Gets back in. By the third or fourth time, he's not even swimming anymore. He's doing a weird swim walk. He's doing water aerobics. And then he gets out and he looks at all of us in the pool and just shouts, "I'm ready for work!" I am really going to miss that guy. He's definitely going to die really soon. We really livened up my Tuesday morning. So, another thing about my gym is it's full of dicks. Dick joke time. There's dicks everywhere, especially in the changing room. Now, I'm really uncomfortable about this because, guys, I need to let you know, I am what they call a never nude. I do not like getting naked in front of me. Not very European, I know. And there's different types of dicks in the change room. You've got a business dick. He's not wearing a towel. He's doing some sort of Oasis walk. He's doing it so well, his dick is actually helicoptering. We've also got a hairdryer dick. Using the hairdryer to dry himself. There's not even any hair down there. And then you've got bench stick up there. Yeah, you've seen it. Gets the old towel. First learned about this guy when I sat next to him. Dick and balls in the face. So don't worry guys, I've got a system. When I go swimming. I arrive, trackies, swim shorts on. Good. And then I've got something called the towel sandwich technique. So what I do is I get the towel, my boxers in the middle, towels on, take the poolside, have my swim, come back, take the towel sandwich into the shower, have a shower, dry myself, then I'm in the changing room. I'm high-fiving business dick. I'm like, what the fuck, hairdryer dick? And I'm like, bench dick, you can fuck off. And then you think, like, what's your thing? I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll tell you what my thing is. I lather up on the moisturiser, on the legs, there we go, on the arms. Not in the dick area though. Then I'm like, get my clothes on, and then I'm out of there, like I'm out of here.
I'm Stewart. So I'm someone that can't deal with sort of awkward silences. You know, if an awkward silence falls, like I just have to fill it. I just compelled to fill it. I was out for dinner with my girlfriend a few weeks ago, and one of these silences fell. And the sort of anecdote department in the back of my head just kind of kicked into panic mode, and the supervisor just comes and runs in and goes, "We've got a problem out there! We've got a problem!" Right, we need an anecdote, it's a red alert, we need an anecdote quick. And then there's like an office worker there just surrounded by files, just like, oh dear. See what we have here. How about the time he dressed up as a Power Ranger at that child's birthday party and wet himself? No, she was there for that. Oh, okay. What about the time he spent a month trying to get everyone to call him the Stewmeister? She might do it. Like, eventually, the team kind of eventually come up with this thing, and they kind of send it up, and it's this. It's that when I was younger, I had a friend who was a neighbour, and he had an iPad, which is completely irrelevant detail. His father was a discipline, and on his round, he came across a bag of rubbers. The stationary kind, not the formal kind. And we spent the entire afternoon playing with these rubbers. They were shaped like mailboxes, like armadillos, like we had a lovely afternoon. At the end of the afternoon, my friend said, "Oh, do you want to keep one?" And I took the sewing machine, and I have no idea what I did with it. And my girlfriend turns to me and says, "You know what? Sometimes it's okay just before you say something, just to take a second and just think, is this going to be better than silence?" I've never really dealt well with social situations. When I was younger, I was at school. Do you remember, if any of you came through the British education system, you'll remember this, that on your birthday, you were expected to bring a bag of sweets in and hang them out at the end. No, it sounds absolutely degrading. You're just there sort of like, just apologise if your continued existence. I hate these two. I always kind of use this as an opportunity to kind of get some good faith in my classmates, so I'd start the negotiations on them early. And I sort of go, Mama? I've been an awful classmate this year. I keep shouting things out while the teacher's talking, thinking they're funny, and frankly, they're just not landing. I think my classmates have earned 2 dib dabs and a pack of fantastic seats. And my mum just goes, they're going to get a flying saucer and they're going to be glad. I see your rebuttal, Mama. How about a packet of candy cigarettes and some hubba bubbas to cleanse the palate afterwards? Maybe a Swedish fish? How about some Starburst each? What are Starbursts? Opal fruits, Mama. Keep up. I'm here to tell you though that at the end of the day, that any of you that experience that's not part of the British education system anymore, because Jamie Oliver, on the day that he decided he wanted to become the Turkey Christ and Saviour of the world, he was walking through, on the 8th day, he was kind of walking through a playground, and saw a fat kid with a party hat on, skipping along, bag full of malwams, heart full of hope. I hate getting birthday presents. I find they're a commitment that I just don't really like. You know, people want reviews from birthday presents now. Next time you see that friend, they're like, oh, what do you think of that box set of the 2005 Ashes series? 20 days worth of gameplay time, and I've got a life to live. It's not true, but he doesn't know that. I don't like birthday cards either. I think they're a blight on the environment and society. If someone gives me a birthday card, I will spend 3 seconds with it max. And what I'll do is I'll check the name that they spelled it right, because if they spell it wrong, I get the giddy thrill of going, oh, I think you'll find it's an EW. The only use I find for cards in general is for my parents' generation, who at Christmas seem to use them to determine who's died that year. 26th of December comes around, they're sitting there. Ooh, I haven't heard from Jan this year. What do you think got her? Well, she was a smoker. I find birthdays quite stressful. At work, they've started getting puppies in to de-stress us. Can you imagine I imagine the conversation when they were sort of going, everyone who works here just seems to have lost their zest for life. What can we do? They've got a couple of pictures like, well, how about we let them leave on time and stop calling them in for evening and weekends with their pay? How about we give them health benefits in a reasonable living wage? I think let's just get some flea-ridden thing that shits itself. In this scenario, I feel really bad for the dog, because that's a tough gig. Like the dog's in the break room, just waiting for everyone, and then they hear the sort of clomping, monotonous clomping of people finishing the meeting, and just go, oh Christ. The dog's got to be there to be like, alright, fine, bring your A-game, I'm going to lick these suckers until the 100% alright, come on! We've let the corporations go too far. I think we've also let the artists go too far. I was at the Tate a few weeks ago. I walked into a room and it was a completely empty room. There was just a sign on the side and it said artist Marcus Guru, name Los Sonos, medium statue, material air. Looking around and the pennies drop. This brick has made a statue out of air. Like, I'm supposed to be imagining it. I'm going to use my imagination. I'm going to do that at home. I took 3 buses to get here. 3 book tickets. I'm missing my niece's christening for this. It's not just art that's got this problem. There's a piece of classical music by John Cage, and it's called 433. And basically, he gets a bunch of classically trained musicians, people that have honed their craft. They've gone to music school. They've gone through it all. He gets a bunch of classically trained musicians, and they just sit there for 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. And we as a society are just going, oh, how confronting. And I just think that if we as a society are allowing these art forms to get away with this, that I'm going to get in on that. I very least hope that was better than silence. I've been Stewart, thank you.
On stage, the opener. You've never been here before, but it's good to be back.
Anyway, before we start, quick shout out to the home crew. Quick shout out to Jamie and the Coventry boys.
For Gaelic football legends, Sarge and Teresa. Yeah, so my name is Cathal. Hasn't worked out quite as well as you might imagine. Cathal, silent T. Still get a monthly text message at least every month. Monthly, at least every month. From the NHS about my cervical screening. Just for Coventry boys there, that's my man. Yeah, so safe to say that as much as we have our differences, the Irish and the Brits, we do have something in common as well. And one such thing, I think, is our love for nicknames. Yeah, we love a good nickname. It's a sure sign of a trusted and sound, credible person in society that either have a nickname or they're known to have a good drinking ability. Say, what you make of our boy, 2 Litre Peter? 2 Litre Peter? 2? Say, he goes into the pub for a quick drink before he goes to school running. They say he might manage 15 or 20 pints. Straight home to the wife 4 hours late. Nicknames as well. We love them in Ireland. I'd say even more than you like them. We really do. I'm thinking back to my own small town in Ireland, Kells, and anyone who's sound has a nickname. And there's lots of different nicknames, some great ones. But one such one that I particularly like is the Dangler. I mean, this is a guy in his probably early 70s at this stage. Yeah. Known as the Dangler. Since he was very young, mind. Since he was very, very young. Since his heyday. And, nobody knows him by his first name. Just known simply as the Dangler. So, this guy is presented to males and females alike as the Dangler. The Dangler. I remember meeting him the first time, maybe 6 or 7 years old. Yeah, introduced to the Dangler. You know, still today, don't know his first name. And just as I did when I was 7 years old, all I knew about the guy is that he was very large penis. Some guys at home as well are just defined by their nicknames. Like it sets out their give any names away. Kevin McDonald. His father was called Anthony, so of course Kevin was called Tony since he was on the cot. And Tony went on to become, at 7 years old, when he went to school, become known as Tony Two Touch. Wasn't great at the old football in the schoolyard. Could never manage a third touching the ball. Tony Two Touch. Then as Tony progressed, later in life, became the drinking age. 11 years old in Ireland. He became known as Tony Two Cans. Not famous or renowned for his drinking ability, so he left with it. Poor Tony then, when it came to uni years, critical years really to form a man, became known as Tony Tampon. Why? Well, they say it's because he always got 30 jobs. I think it's unfair on Tony. Like the nickname's really held him back as a man. He's now just known affectionately as Tampon. Lives in the west of Ireland with his parents in a treehouse in the back garden. He's open for it, Tony. In Marlow Road. So anyway, I'm here in London 2 years. I moved over on my own in January 2020. Huge success. I went back to Ireland for a little bit, and just to reassess, just to take the time out. I was on the road for a while, so I was going to slow things down, see what's happening in the world, life and kind of fell back into old routines back in Ireland. Nice little time out. And I do realise actually that, the Irish and English, they do have some differences. Sure. Really noticeable on some things. Spare time. Like, we don't get this nonsense about roast dinners in the UK. Like, roast dinner for us in Ireland is bad news. It's roast dinner, you have it in the house with the family, and you, as the boy in the house, you are absolutely in the wash-up. Because the pots and pans coming at you like, non-stop. The other thing about Mass in Ireland, Catholic Mass on a Sunday, we could not avoid it, Yeah, growing up in Ireland, you had to go to Catholic Mass, no matter what shape you're in. Yeah. So, I said, when I was back in Ireland very recently, I said, I'm going to check this Mass out, it's changed much. I have to be honest, it hasn't changed. Basically, the priest turns around and holds this big book out of stories called the Gospel. Big book of stories, takes one, reads it out, gives his thoughts. A letter to St. Paul from the Corinthians. No word. The Corinthians have been writing letters a couple of thousands of years. No word back from St. Paul. They write letters anyway. They might, try a different story, maybe a bit of Snapchat, mix it up a little bit. Corinthians, because the word isn't getting through St. Paul. The one time Mass did change. Oh my God, it did change. The door shut. The pandemic. Mass moved online. Digital transformation comes to the Catholic Church. How do you like them apples? So I moved back in with, my parents and my classic followers of Catholic Ireland Mass. Generation's a little bit older. They haven't got through to the younger audience just yet. So, Mum and Dad are streaming Mass now on this website that has Mass coming through on the computer. I honestly thought as much as I thought it was crazy enough. they weren't missing out. It was like early in the morning, you know, they might make breakfast, they might not, but they always make mass. So what happens next is like they load it up and they just sit back and watch mass unfold. That's it. I joined them once or twice. Then I realised lockdown is hard enough. I don't really want to do this. But in fairness, I have to say, Dad's quite techy. He's got, he's quite good in the old technology. He's got mass tuned in to the laptop, which is tuned in the family speaker. I thought, fair play. But needless to say, when his young son came back from London, he also wanted to get on said speaker with Bluetooth.
Oh.
One day, unfortunately, just as I was getting into classic old mashups, dance mashups, classic mashups in the 90s, mixing them all in, what shit is he controlling in 40 minutes, that kind of shit. One song might last 10 seconds and then bang on to the next song. Walked in the door, mass song, Bluetooth, young son walks in, banging out the tunes. Tunes are longer in my ear. Oh, I get it, how did you know? Oh, the music is tempo. Priest coming down from Holy Communion. Sir, and bang bang tunes all the way. I'll tell you one thing though, by far the best day of lockdown.
So my name is Georgios. And you can also call me George, but I prefer Georgios. Particularly, you send me an email and you start with Dear Georgios, and the spell checker changes that to Gorgeous. Very often I receive mails at work starting Dear Gorgeous, and I reply back, hello ladies. That's why HR hates me. Today I would like to introduce actually my assistant. Yes, I do have an assistant. She helps me with the joke writing.
Yeah?
For obvious reasons, yeah. Thank you. Oh, no, I'm not joking. I'll give you an example. What is your best joke?
Why did they build the university on a mountain? It was a place of higher learning.
I really apologize, that was really bad. I was really bad, but it's representative of my type of comedy. Thank you. Which is short and bad quality. Like my sexual performance. Thank you. Do you know anything? No. So you might wonder where this accent comes from. Any guesses? Well, yes, that's right. Actually, yes. I'm originally from Athens, Greece. I'm here actually because they take a diversity box. I've been in the UK for more than 12 years, so don't worry, I'm legal. England for me is my home, actually, that's how it feels. Thank you, yeah. But with this accent, right? And this accent actually gives me a lot of trouble every day. Because I don't know, guys, you don't realize, but in English, there are words that you pronounce them differently. Okay, but for a foreigner like me, they sound exactly the same. And we pronounce them exactly the same. I'll give you some examples. When I used to teach, I used to say to my students, okay, now let's go to the next problem sheet. They laughed every single time. I simply thought they were excited about maths. Nope. An English friend of mine actually asked me the other day, well, George, how is Greece? I told him, oh, Greece is wonderful. Greece has amazing beaches. They're warm, they're wet. Thinking about it for a moment, this sounds correct either way. And now I'm a sexist, yeah. And that's the main reason I use the full word cannot, and not the short version. I can't say the word can't, because it sounds like the C word. But it's not only the accent, it's also some slang, some expressions that we were never taught back in English school, okay? Like I'll give you an example. The other day at the office, I was telling my colleagues about scuba diving and different types of suits in scuba diving. There are 3 types: dry, semi-dry, and wet, okay? So my good colleague Dave asked me, George, do you have any plans for the weekend? I told him, I got a semi from a lady online and I'm planning to go diving. He said, oh, I'm so jealous. I never thought Dave was into diving. We had fun that weekend with our semis. Thank you. So yes, as I said, this scuba diving, which is a very fun and safe sport, but accidents happen. Okay, like the other day, I had a near-death experience. Really? Yeah. I ran out of air at 15 meters depth. Yeah, terrible. It was a very cold February day. Water temperature about 3-4 degrees, surface temperature. That's a fact. That's not a No, keep going. Surface temperature was about 5-6 degrees, okay? And the reason this happened actually is because my dry suit was leaking, okay? And I was soaked with freezing water. Actually, I was swimming in freezing water, okay? So I came out of the water, and the cold wind was blowing, and I was freezing. I was literally freezing. I've never felt colder in my life. Okay, so the first thing I do, I ran to the shower to warm up. While I was showering, I looked down, and I don't see him. You know what I mean, right? My penis has disappeared. When I say disappeared, the whole system was smaller than a clitoris. And at that exact moment, I'm starting panicking. I thought my girlfriend would leave me. I will never be able to enjoy sex again. And I will never be able to masturbate again, which is very important to me. I started panicking by the fact that I'm panicking about my penis. Because, let's be honest, look at me, I'm not the tall, masculine type of guy, right? I'm more a brainy type of guy. And I've never thought that my penis was so important to my existence. So at that exact moment, I'm having an existential crisis. Who am I And the whole life flashes before my eyes. Okay? All my academic achievements, my first sex, my last sex, my first one, my last one. I'm really panicking. I mean, I'm too embarrassed to tell anyone. I only texted my best friend. I wrote to him, I nearly drowned at scuba diving. Now I cannot find my penis. And I'm panicking. He wrote back, too bad you didn't die. Don't worry about your penis. It happens to me when I take drugs. And to be honest with you, I've never felt happier about my drug addict friend and his penis. So, you might wonder whether if it came back. Yeah, it did recover. I found out the hard way. I told you I like silly jokes. So actually that was me, guys. Thank you very much. But before I go, I'm a student, so I would like some feedback. All right, but to be honest, I don't know you. I don't trust you. So I would like a more objective opinion. Was I funny?
Yeah!
You were great, gorgeous.
I didn't expect to be so close to the audience. They got short, like your next will be fucked in all. God, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. It's good to be here. Seeing people slowly sliding their bags underneath their chairs. I can hear with my accent. You are for Dodgers here. Hard to consider yourself. That was my one of the twist reference. Seeing fellow millennials looking at me with respect, thinking, what's that got to do with garage? No, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. So many people here, you know, people's friends and family. I didn't bring anyone here, so I didn't invite anyone. Not because I don't have any friends or family, no. So I figured the audience prefer to leave at the end of the night with all of their possessions. One of those thieves in my family is actually my little brother. My younger brother, who's 19, found out the other day, one of his best mates just joined the gang. Are you serious? Oh, yeah, joined the gang. Gang around from, where from really? Embarking, called CBT. Anyone here members of CBT? No? Lovely stuff, I'll continue. It's called CBT, it got me thinking. By gang standards, pretty progressive. They're trying to incorporate cognitive behavior. You can just imagine what those calls to drug dealers would be, right? Your phone. You got anything, yeah? Yeah, man, I've got everything in it. I've got weed, I've got pills, I've got Charlie's. I'm also offering an hour therapy to talk to the man then about the childhood traumas they may have experienced. Are you taking any drugs to mask those emotions? Imagine that. Discussing your mummy issues with someone who's been stabbed more times than the microwave of already been. But no, yeah, CBT, I think it's a new game, you know, only been in operation for a few months. Some would call it like a startup, I don't know. It actually makes sense to be completely honest, because my brother's mate, he's actually studying economics and accounting at uni. You know, yeah, I know, yeah, I mean, it would make sense really, you know, because maybe this gang is trying to run as professionally as possible. Probably recruited the aspiring accountants to do, you know, their financial forecasts. Maybe to, you know, submit their accounts at company's house. Reduce their deficit, maybe. Who knows? We might even see him be the next Chancellor of this country. I don't know. It's not like he doesn't have experience with, you know, being involved with a bit of corruption. Fucked it anyway.
Go again. Do it again.
To be fair, you know, it'll be a lot better than the fucking plan we got already. The chance, eh? You know?
Yeah.
There's a fun fact, yeah. Fun fact. Did you know Rishi Rich? I'm sure you know I'm talking about that one. Rishi Rich has a net worth of 250 million.
Hey!
Yeah. Not only that, he's married to the daughter of a billionaire.
Hey!
Well, also, yay.
I don't have a joke on that. I just think it's important for people to know. For creating our fiscal policies.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen to that. Amen to that. Listen, if I don't have you walking out of there laughing, the least I could do is have you get home with a bit of new knowledge.
Yeah.
Have you get home? How was the comedy, love? Welcome home. Yeah, it was alright. Last act was a bit of a prick. Did you know? I'll be honest though, sometimes I feel like I could do as an accountant. Not because I'm rich or anything, no way. Because I live in London. Fucking expensive, isn't it? It's so expensive. I was watching a programme the other day about the gentrification of our city, and it kind of got me thinking. Had a bit of an epiphany, you know, about my own involvement, you know, in the gentrification. Because, you know, it would only be, you know, a good few years ago, where I would be cussing out all the yuppies, you know, moaning about all the hipsters. You know, many of whom must be amongst us coming into our city and invading it. Here I am, standing before you today. And my crop chinos in another cargo thinking, fuck. Why turn hipster? Yeah. Yeah, because actually, that's it. I would never have been dressing like this back in the day. No way. No, my brethren wouldn't have allowed it. No, I would have been in my baggy G-star jeans, high top white Air Forces, red New Era cap looking like a tube of Colgate toothpaste, folding it down, special green robes, you know, like the little gangster I thought I was. Now look at me. These fucking glasses. Do you think I do these? Yeah, right, they're prescription. I'm a little bit short-sighted. I think a couple of extra carrots a week. I bought myself a lockdown guide, didn't I? What's so hipster about that, Ajit? Which is fucking fixie and has one of those handlebars that shake like bullhorns. Probably manufactured by the local barista lumberjack. As a fucking graphic designer. Hikes on the weekends. Apparently he's fixed and has a hike. We're all fucked. I didn't know that. Enjoy my fair share of craft beer as well. I love it. Back in the day, again, you know, we'd be Foster's, Stella. Now I'm mostly sipping on a pint of India Pale Ale, as if it's another thing my ancestors have given this country. Drinking craft beer with names that sound like they've been made from random word generators. Spotted monkey juice. Roping devil. Pneumonia. Honestly, I'm It works, doesn't it? It works. It might not sound nice, but they sound just as good as getting broke by the devil himself. Yeah. Anyway, I've been Ajit. Hope you had a good night. Good night. God bless. Good night. God bless.